Hi, C.
Hey, Rachel. Thanks for being on the pod.
Anytime.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Let's start with a little intro.
Okay.
So this is Rachel.
Hey.
AKA Ray Ray the Best.
That's true. I was just thinking about that. Sorry to interject.
No.
I was like, wait, I've had the tag Ray Ray the Best since, I guess, like 2011. When did Instagram come out?
But didn't you had it before that, didn't you?
No, it was because of Instagram.
It was probably somewhere around like 2010.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Wow.
it's pretty cool.
You know what? Okay, so you and I met through Ryland.
Yes.
Your older sister.
Yes.
In middle school. Ryland and I met, I think, in chorus
Yeah.
at a private school. But when I came to hang out with Ryland, you were always there.
Yeah.
And it was giving, why wouldn't Rachel hang out with us?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like forced entry. I mean, Ryland, as you know, is like really good at making friends. And
is.
I think you guys saved each other from that place.
Yeah. Private school was tough.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. I left pretty much immediately.
Yeah, I left as soon as I could.
Really?
Well, yeah, because, yeah, I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
And then I tried to do it all. I kind of played the game, like sat with the popular girls,
Right.
but then I also like would sneak and try and hang out with like Ryland's friends who were like, you know, going to, what was that cafe in downtown that was like poetry slams and,
Yes.
you know, would drive around
What
and
was
go to the
the name?
mall.
I know
What was
ex-
that place?
It was by, it was in,
on Water Street.
yes. Yeah. I don't remember, but I do remember going to a very emo band, to see a very emo band. And I actually still have the CD to it. I could not tell you what they're called, but I remember going, that was one of my last and maybe only memories of being there.
Okay.
But I can't
Yeah,
remember
that
what it
place
was
was really
called.
important.
It was important.
Yeah, so was the OG Funkin' Waffles.
Yes. I don't think people really understand how big the emo scene was here.
Oh yeah, big time.
There were
Big time.
lots of emo kids, lots of scene kids.
Yes.
Lots of goth kids and
Hardcore too.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Softcore and hardcore.
Yes.
I was a part of that.
Yeah.
I was punk rock.
Yeah, you
question
were.
mark.
You were.
I was punk rock.
Yeah.
But I was like on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't in it.
Yeah,
But
me
I was
too.
about it.
Same. Me too. I mean, I also was like kind of a ska kid.
Wait, can you remind? Oh,
Like,
ska. Yes. Wait.
Like we would go to ska shows. I'd go to hardcore
ska.
shows. I was like very soft scene kid. I never committed to like dyeing my hair.
Yeah.
Or like really going for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I actually just found a Christmas list from like, I think 8th or 9th grade. And it was like anything from Zoomies, like Dickies pants. And then in parentheses, it said, do not take Nani there, my grandma. So, oh, and there was like juicy lip tubes. And it was like any
Wow.
t-shirt with Death Cab for Cutie on it, Pixies or Ramones.
Yes.
So, wait, were you a Delia's girl?
Yes. I was just thinking, every time I think about this era of myself, I'm always reminded how obsessed I was with Paul Frank.
Yes.
And I would always
Oh my God,
have.
me too.
I am so disappointed in myself for giving away my Paul Frank
Me
tees.
too.
I am so disappointed.
I loved like matching what was going on with me in my life with Paul Frank.
Yes.
Like when I had braces, I had a braces.
That's the thing. There was
there was so corny.
there was a mood
I love it.
for every Paul Frank tee.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Ryland gave me her orange Paul Frank pajama set.
That's
like
so nice.
years ago, and I still have it.
Do you?
I
I bet you do.
That was one thing that I was like,
Yeah.
not giving this bad boy away.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun though. I have so many memories of just being in your little kind of like basement area. Was that considered a basement?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was cool because it was like reverse. Kitchen was upstairs.
Yeah.
And then our hangout was downstairs. Yeah. I mean, whether or not, I'm glad it happened the way it did because I kind of just like didn't take no for an answer in terms of like becoming friends with all of my sister's older friends.
I'm also glad you didn't take no
so
for an answer.
Here we are, like, my God, 20 plus years later of friendship.
Yeah.
And somehow we all came back to Syracuse.
Yes. And actually, this is something that I wanted to talk about because can you tell me what you were doing when you left Syracuse?
Oh, God.
When did you leave Syracuse and what happened in your life during that time?
So I left Syracuse for college. So I went to Portland, Oregon. I went to Lewis and Clark College. Random saw a girl a cool girl at school that had sweatpants on that said Lewis and Clark. That's literally how I found out about it.
Listen, the girls just know.
I know. I was like, hey, what's that? She's like, oh, it's a cool school in Portland.
And that is what girlhood is.
Yeah.
So finding out how to go to school.
And I was like, cool, I'll check it out. And then I found out that a few of my like close family friends went there, of my mom's.
Oh, okay.
So my mom's like, oh, I know about that school. And she was really into Portland, the idea of it. And at that point, I'd gotten into like cycling and bike riding. And that was a big, era. So I was between that and I didn't really like do that well in school. Like I didn't either. School was really hard for me until later on when I kind of discovered that I needed to be in smaller settings, and I think probably had some undiagnosed learning disorders that I still don't know about. But so like I didn't start to get good grades until I started to really lock in and find that, learning's cool, and not just to like for standardized tests. It's like more context of the world and history and all that. Mm-hmm. So, but then I still had really high hopes. Like I was like, I'm totally going to like go to Vassar, which is crazy. Like,
is it though?
Yeah. I mean, it's like saying like I could go to like Princeton or something.
But you could.
I mean, maybe, but so I was my college counselor that was through my school was very like, you should kind of like, I don't know if you could get into Lewis and Clark and Sarah Lawrence and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I'm going to try. And I wanted to prove her wrong, and which I did. So that took me out there. I was actually like debating between going there to SU drama.
Really?
So I was like, either I'm going to be an actress or I'm just going to like go to the woods.
So you knew, okay, when I think about Rachel, it's always giving Maddie knew she was a star from a young age.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I don't know.
You are one of those people who you just walk into the room and naturally you have this just natural glow and just energy that people want to be around.
Oh, that's so nice.
And you are also an entertainer on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like you're a star, Rachel.
Thanks. I haven't like found out how to do, like I feel that way, and it's so nice of you to say. I just haven't like figured out how. Like it feels exhausting, like if I were to really work on my impersonations and like try and get it out there in the world. But I just need an editor. I hate editing.
You're telling
stuff,
me.
So
you're telling me.
Help. I need an agent. Can someone get me an agent?
No, for real though. It's tough.
It is.
It's tough.
So yeah, so then I was out in Portland, and then but I loved it, like just absolutely loved it. And it was really far away from home, but at that time I was just like, I'm just going to go for it. Mm-hmm. And then I think now like school to me was kind of a big social experiment. Mm-hmm. For my last year of college, I only wore platforms.
Period.
So I like,
that is exactly what I'm talking about.
because I wanted everyone to think I was like 5'11".
Really?
I don't know. It was like this thing.
Wow.
And then eventually I took them off, and people were like, "Wait, I thought you were like really tall." So
imagine.
Yeah, and then I just completely pivoted and got a job in my senior year end of senior year, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was a sociology major and theater.
Okay. I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So you did do some performance in school.
I did. I danced throughout. And I was in a lot of theater classes, but I didn't do any plays or anything. And then I was going to do like improv, and then I was just kind of like, ugh. Like, I can't. That's the thing.
Improv,
it's so annoying.
It can take a lot out of you. But it can be fun or it can be exhausting. You just never know. It's a dice roll every time.
Yeah.
I get that. That's how I felt in acting school. And I actually was so overcome by it that I literally had no choice but to let it all go.
Right.
Like, I was like, I can't carry this every day. I can't carry the fear of being humiliated or laughing my ass off or just looking like a fool or crying or just you just never know sometimes. So
I know. I think I had a hard time like letting go of myself and like I think my ego. Like I was like embarrassed for myself that, you know what I mean? Like even if I was playing a role that was so not, I didn't personally connect with, I had a hard time being like, okay, the audience, feeling like the audience was going to only just see me and then like conflate me to the character. Yeah. Which I know is like, I just had a really hard time getting through that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It really is.
And then I kind of left that all behind. And then I, in a different way, I guess, was performing. Because then I became a cycling and hiking guide for a very bougie company called Backroads.
That's right. I remember this.
That was my like mountain girl cycling era. Like, but it was amazing because it took me all over the world.
Yeah.
And I just lived this life for about 5-6 years of running tours and being stationed all over the country. And you like live in these houses with like your co-leaders, and it's just like hundreds of like really attractive, young, fit people that are all hired to be the trip leaders of these for their like pre-designed tours. And they're very expensive and they're all inclusive. And like we as the leaders are like the historian, the driver, the mechanic, the friend, the chef. And it was like crazy, crazy, crazy long days. It's kind of like, have you seen like Below Deck? Like that? Yeah. It's like that. Mm-hmm. But so I love that show, but it also gives me like trauma response because I'm like, because guests, you're with them for 6 days. And the craziest thing about this company, first and foremost, very culty. Yeah. And I've realized that I am susceptible to cults for sure.
I think a lot of us are, and we don't realize it, especially when we're trying to help ourselves.
Yeah. And you just want to climb the ladder and you want to like, whatever. So the crazy thing that they did was they would send out a review at the end of the trip to the guests. And the guests thought it was anonymous, these reviews, and they would score you and write little things about it. And then you would see it. You'd get sent to you in your little profile.
Did they tell them that it was anonymous?
No, I don't know.
Oh, they just
but
were like
the guests did not like. They definitely were kind of like, made it so that it was the guests thought it was anonymous for sure,
right?
And you had to have like a top tier score as a person.
Wow!
Like if you got an 8 or a 9, you will get like knocked down on the scheduling like poll, and you might have to work like, in the warehouse in Utah for like 3 weeks. It was so crazy. And I mean, the standard of perfection for the company and what they expected from people was so insane. And on top of that, like you're living and working and with these people and this company, and it's just, it was my entire world. It was so like, I was so obsessed by it, and then also like totally lost my identity in that. And because like, I don't know, some days I just want to like sit around.
Yeah.
And these people do not. These people were like on their days off after working 3 weeks straight, you know, like crazy hours, like, and they'd be like, oh, let's go. We got to like climb this mountain. And then I'd be like, well, I just want to like watch TV. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It was intense. And then that led me to Berkeley, California, where I lived on and off my seasons. And then that's when my life really changed because I took a job at this place called Standard Fare, which is, oh my God, they just closed and it's really sad. Oh. So many amazing places in the Bay are closing right now. And I kind of lied. I was like, oh yeah, I totally know how to be a barista. And the chef owner, is no joke, like militant and extremely talented and scary. And I was young and dumb. And but then I found out that she was really involved with this chef that I've always admired, that really inspired my mom and pastas. And she co-wrote all these cookbooks with Alice Waters and came from the Chez Panisse world, which is hugely important for a lot of people, and slow food movement and farm to table. And she was kind of like the pioneer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, that, like, I couldn't believe I'd found, I like just didn't do any research about this restaurant. I just saw that they had a job. And then it ended up being with this woman, Kelsey, and then like Alice Waters came in one day to say hi, and
wow.
And I made her a cappuccino, and I was like, this is I couldn't believe it.
It was like fate. Like
totally.
It had fallen into your lap in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how you transitioned from the mountains to the table.
Oh God. Yeah. So from the mountains to the table. I like that. So when I took the job, I also saw how the kitchen was working. It was like one big open like space. So you walk in, you just were in the kitchen, and there were some like stools and tables, and you just watched everyone work, and all the food came fresh that day from the farmer's market, and like literally from the bay, the fishermen would come with the fish. And
wow.
And I saw the chefs there working, and I was like, I think I want to do that. And so I just asked her, I was like, hey, I'd love to like work in the kitchen. And she definitely was like, I don't know. At the end, she did like me, but it was truly such an insane, scary experience working for her. And I then decided, okay, I think I'm going to do this, and then leave Backroads. And the day that Kelsey agreed and to move me in the kitchen full time, a family friend was visiting me, and we went down to the pier, and I was like, can you take a photo of me? I think my life's about to change. I know. Goosebumps.
Okay, this is exactly why you are always the main character.
Just
literally. You just know.
Yeah, I've always kind of known.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and like I said, I found like community outside of Backroads, and I made some like lifetime long friends, and Allie being one of them.
Yes, Allie
and
is the best.
Yeah, so I did that for a few years, and then again one day randomly I woke up and I thought to myself, I think I like need to go back home.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long had you been there for?
In California?
Yeah, at that point.
Or like, okay, so I was out west from 2010 to like 2018. So like
wow.
7
decent amount.
Yeah, years-ish. I was like in a relationship on and off, like super like dumb relationship. Sorry, but like
it happens.
It was good. It was a learning lesson for sure. Learned a lot. And then I'm sorry, I don't mean to discredit that. It wasn't dumb. It was just like it was
I understand
young.
what you mean. Yeah, young. When you're young, sometimes you just look back and you're like, really? I did that? Or
it was just codependent.
It's just silly. Yeah.
And yeah, I had this cute apartment, had great friends. I felt like I was finding my groove in the restaurant. And then I just was like, I think I need to go home. And then I was like, just for the summer though, like just for the summer. I'm not going to I can't commit to Syracuse. So I come back home. I gave like a 3-month notice to Kelsey, and, did that, finished that out, traveled a little bit, and then came home and still kind of tentatively, not sure, rented a room at a friend's house who became my friend. And so I want to see what it was like to be here as an adult and not be at home with my mom. My mom picked me up from the airport to crazy bribery to stay because she really wanted me to come and manage the kitchen.
Yeah.
At Pastabilities. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. I just want to prep some food. I'm not ready to commit to this life. My mom had plans. She shows up to the airport in my dream car, which was a TDI Jetta diesel with a really cool bike rack and a bike on the top. And I'm like, she goes, I thought you needed a car to get to and from work, and, we'll help pay, it was like a cool used wagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you decide to, if this is your car, but that you will resume payments,
Yeah.
if you decide to leave Syracuse.
Honestly, so smart. She's a businesswoman.
Yeah,
she's a businesswoman.
So, yeah. So then then everything kind of unfolded from there. I started working at Pastas. I started managing the kitchen. I then bought my first house. This was before COVID and craziness of COVID. And my house was the cutest,
Yeah, it was
I love that
perfect
house.
and sweet, and I'll never forget it.
Me neither. And then, it was on the market for a month before, and I was the first person to bid. And then I basically just shook the guy's hand.
Which is so unbelievable
I know.
Because it's so difficult to find just houses because they get snatched up.
I know.
Wow.
And then I thought I was going to live in my house and be this cool single era. We saw a little bit of her.
We did. There was a flash.
A little flash.
There was a moment.
There was I remember a few months, but it was fun.
Yeah. Something about you and your sister, the moment you guys end something begins.
Immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate.
And I love that for you.
Yeah, I was really I was okay, I'm going to date. I'm going to go on Hinge. Did that, and then immediately met my now husband.
Amazing. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
And
I remember, I'll never forget, because we were coming from, I think it was Dreamland, one of the earlier Dreamlands.
Yeah.
Which, for people who don't know, Dreamland is a dance party series that was birthed from Ryland.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. It's coming back, people.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
It's coming back.
We need to dance.
We do.
We need to dance.
We do. And I think
But we were in the car, and I remember I was going through something with the guy that I was with, and we were talking in the car, and you were like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. And you were just so on the fence about it. But you guys kept hanging out. And then it was it wasn't overnight, but it was in my mind, it was overnight. You were like, wait, I like him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I knew from the second. I was just being scorpionic about it. I knew from the second I saw him, because I was like, whoa, you're way cuter than your profile. And I was just like, oh my God, he blew me away. And, but I was very adamant about just my space.
Yeah.
And I just was and then he was living in Hamilton at the time, and so he would come in and would go out on the weekends, karaoke.
Oh my
that
gosh.
night. I had a
Oh,
full-blown
yeah.
panic attack. Because
Oh,
because
no.
I thought it was just going to be like one or two friends, and it was like this huge
I know that was a
group.
very rare night for us.
That was fun.
That was incredible. We need to do it again.
We do.
We need to. Mm-hmm. It's getting
This
time.
Solvay triangle, which is Eva's. Well, sometimes just a line. It's like Eva's and then singers.
Yep.
But there is that cool little speakeasy I still haven't been to.
Oh my gosh, the galley.
Yeah,
I like almost don't even want to talk about it on
and
here
that's
because
not redacted.
it's
Yeah,
a moment.
yeah,
It's a moment.
Yeah,
Love the galley. Love the galley.
I need to go.
Yeah.
We'll go.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, so I guess that's sort of the timeline.
That's how you ended up back in Syracuse.
Yeah, and then COVID happened. Tyler was in Hamilton, and I still had to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
He worked from home before COVID, like so crazy of a concept.
I know.
I remember being
Imagine.
like, "What do you mean you work from home?"
Oh my gosh.
I was like, but then he's like, "Oh, well, I'll come stay with you for 2 weeks." So we can still see each other, and that's when COVID will end. And obviously that it didn't happen. So he basically moved in.
I know. It was crazy. It just all fell right into place.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, because we weren't even like official BFGF.
I love that for you. Must have been fun though.
It was so much fun.
I believe it.
And of course, I was the one that asked him to be my boyfriend.
I mean,
After me being like,
I can't tell you how many times I unfortunately have had to be like, so are we
yeah.
boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yeah.
Or are you going to ask me?
Yeah.
And there's just a list of things that's like, they already think you're together,
Yeah.
or they didn't think they needed to ask. Or
no,
I
I like
it's
a label. I'm
interesting.
sorry. If I'm like, no. Yeah, we can
Labels
do this thing.
and
We can
love
do this
do
thing.
exist.
I'm like, okay, but this thing, you're my boyfriend. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess
I mean, what?
Yeah.
You want stability?
yeah.
Doesn't seem crazy.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't seem crazy.
No,
But she got it.
she did. And
Effortlessly.
yeah, I don't know. Have you seen that? I can't think of it exactly, but the Syracuse history like posted those
Yeah.
postcards.
Yeah, I did see that.
And it was like, I'm waiting for you, come to Syracuse, or,
Those
like.
were so sweet.
So sweet. And I do feel that way about it here. Like, I know it's challenging, and I think that it's not for everybody, but I do believe that, like, it can provide so much for you and for people. Like, I don't know. I feel like once you really sink into Syracuse and you just kind of, like, accept it and love it, it'll love you back.
Yeah, I agree.
If you fight it, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
No.
Syracuse has been such an up and down journey for me.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I could never envision myself not having a home here.
Yeah.
But I also couldn't envision myself not having a home elsewhere.
Totally. I see that.
Because I'm a city girl too.
Yes.
I love this city.
Yes.
And this is like my small,
Yes.
cute, quaint moment.
Yeah.
And I've lived here my whole life and I loved it. And there were moments where I'm like, I gotta get out. And I still have some of those moments. Not as frequently as when I was
Yeah.
young, but I love New York City.
Yeah.
I'm
You
a city girl.
You are.
Just a city girl.
I know. And I think that what is good for you and the city is that you go, and you get inspired, and you like kind of refuel.
Yes.
And then you can bring that energy back here, and then you like spread it around, and you know what I mean?
I definitely refuel in the city.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, there's times like I am not a New York girl, city girl.
Yeah.
I love it. And I do feel like it does refuel me. Like when I go down, I'm like, oh God, like energy, people,
Yeah.
ideas, creativity, food, art. And I'm like, all right. And then I always, usually when we're driving back, I'm like, Tyler, like we're walking everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just got to start walking everywhere. And he's like, I know, our lives are going to be so different. And then I'm like driving to the co-op. Like, it's pathetic. It's
Honestly, it's tough.
I know.
Especially in the cold. The cold can be really wild, but it's true. There's something about being forced to walk around that just gives you this sense of freeness and stability at the same time.
Yeah.
And it gives to you, you know? I mean, I feel so good when I know I'm walking around and I'm getting my steps in.
Same. And it's my favorite pastime, walking.
Yeah, right?
I love walking.
Love a pastime.
I do. I'm like,
love it.
It does take a long time. Sometimes I get to and fro, but like, I don't know. I'm just like, I could walk to work.
Yeah.
But then, that'd be hard.
That's
maybe sometimes. A lot of my staff do from here. Like
You know, I was surprised that Ryland was biking from, I saw her
She
on
got
her
an e-bike.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, beep, beep, toot, toot.
Beep, beep, toot, toot. I want an e-bike. And old mountain Rachel.
Yeah.
I was like, anti-e-bike. Like, you know, but now it's just, whatever. If it means that you're outside on a bike.
Yeah.
And you can do the things you enjoy and not be like super sweaty. So I really, really want one. So maybe this summer.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm a bit intimidated by them.
I
get worried. I mean, I'm not really a bike girl in general.
Have I ever seen you on a bicycle?
Probably not.
I don't think I have.
I'm thinking about all the times that I have been on a bike, and I remember teaching myself how to ride a bike when I was a kid, like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade, maybe even 4th. And where else? Yeah, it's all kind of blurry from there.
But you're a skater girl.
I am a skater girl.
Which is cooler. And you're good at it.
Well, I can stay on.
You can stay on.
That's what matters. I do love skateboarding. I wish I could do more tricks, though.
I know.
I wish I could go down ramps. I mean, there's still time. There's still time. I'm still limber.
You are. I wanted to be a skate, like roller skate girl.
Oh, that too.
And I got some for my birthday, and I just haven't done it.
That's okay.
This was like maybe 4 years ago.
That's okay.
I got them.
I also have roller skates. It's scary, especially if you take that little stopper off.
Oh God.
And that's how people really build their momentum.
Yeah.
And I went through the whole phase as well, and I still have it, and I still would love to learn. Every time I see someone like Usher skating, I'm just like,
I know.
Or even when I watch ATL or like what's that movie, Roll Bounce?
Oh yeah,
with Bow Wow. I want to be there. The heck?
I know.
I want to dance on roller skates.
Me too.
I also love figure skating.
Me too.
Obsessed with figure skating. I'm no angel on the ice, but I can hold myself, and that's what matters. And I just enjoy spinning around. There's something about spinning around.
I feel like you're meant to be a figure skater.
I
also feel like your outfit is kind of figure skater like coded right now.
And now that you've said that, I think it is too.
It is.
Yeah.
And okay, so I need to look up the names of these figure skaters, but we watched it, the Moulin Rouge.
Yes. I don't know their names, but I can't tell you how many times.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I think Rye sent it in one of our group chats, and we all were just gushing over it. One of the most beautiful things. So we'll look it up and we'll put it in the comments. Yes.
Everyone needs to watch it. And
it's just
because Moulin Rouge also means a lot to us.
To us.
And that performance, actually Anna like referenced it in her wedding speech at our wedding.
Yes. I remember.
It's so God, that inspires me every single time. And I'm like, oh my God, what if? And the speed. I actually just went ice skating like a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was really cute. Yeah, at
downtown?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was really cute. And I was like, this is so hard.
It's hard.
So hard.
Well, I will say this too, and something that I've learned because I wanted to learn so badly that I started to take lessons over up at SU, but they were group. So it was not as beneficial, to be honest. I felt like I could have taught myself, which was so unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's just the Capricorn in me. Anyways.
Yeah. It's so true.
There is such a difference in the ice when you have good skates.
Yeah.
Like not rentals really, when they're sharpened and they're nice and clean. And on top of that, just the slush. Like when there's a Zamboni that comes around and cleans the ice and it's just that much smoother. It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so many people go downtown. It is such a central spot to go. I refuse to go there. I mean, I'll go there if I'm invited. Or maybe I'll just show up. But I usually will go to SU because they have 2 rinks.
That's nice.
And I think if you're alumni or...
Oh, yeah.
But also, there's got to be some way that you can get some sort of... I know that they must have open skate at some point.
They do. I got Tyler a pair of hockey skates because he's a hockey boy.
I think I knew that.
And I love a hockey boy.
I mean...
Sorry.
Are we getting into it?
No,
are we
we're not getting into it. My t-shirt here, yes. I'm repping my gay boyfriends.
Let's go.
No, I do. I think hockey is like the coolest sport. And I'm saying this, I'm not saying this as I don't follow it at all. I'm not trying to say like I'm a hockey fan. I just think it's like incredibly badass.
It is badass.
And I'm glad it's getting the recognition it deserves right now.
I agree.
As a sport. But yeah, I'm not trying to be bandwagon.
Like jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah. But I do think it's a badass sport. And after being on the ice, like kind of recently, I was just like, this is crazy hard. So you have to do that and play a game. Nuts.
And they go so fast.
And little Anna, you know, one of my best friends, she's a tiny, tiny little thing, was a hockey player. So cool. So yeah, I do think that like there's a few things that I don't know. I'm like, if I become a parent, for some reason, I'm just like, our kids gotta know how to skate. I just think it's really cool.
Honestly, it's very beneficial, especially if you live upstate.
Yes.
I feel that the primary sports around here are soccer, basketball, football, obviously.
Yeah.
But people overlook hockey. And what are you going to do in the winter and in the summer?
Yeah, the thing is
year round.
I know. And then it makes you a good rollerblader and like probably a good like skateboarder too. I just think skating is really freaking cool.
It's all about balance.
It's all about balance, core strength.
Core strength, leg strength.
Leg strength. I was like, like kids gotta know how to skate. Skiing, whatever. That seems so hard with children.
Tough.
Also with
snowboarding is tough too, but
oh my God. Are you a boarder?
Do you know how I went snowboarding for the first time with you and Rye? How could you possibly forget? Because I had never done it before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I need to get up there with those kids and take some lessons or something. And Rylan was like, no, you'll be fine. Like, we'll teach you. I was not fine.
It's so hard.
It is hard.
You know who, Rye is like low-key good at snowboarding.
That's crazy.
We're getting older. Well, okay.
Who's old?
No. Okay. 2 things. One, I just saw an Instagram of this lady who just turned 90 and she was amazing. And her grandkids are filming her. She's like, oh my God, it just dawned on me. Like, I'm 90. Like, that's old. And she's like, I just never identified with my age, which I loved. And the second thing, how do you feel about the 2016 challenge? Not challenge, but trend.
So
in terms of getting older.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see. I was actually really excited to look back and see what I was doing. And I had not completely forgotten because I feel like it was such a defining moment for me, but it was the year actually that I came back home to Syracuse. But the first half of the year, I was still working at Elite Daily in New York.
Right.
And it was weird because it was kind of like up and down. It was up and down. And I remember at the time, my original boss had given someone on our team who didn't really have a lot of credentials at the time and just knowledge of what it was or what it should be to run a team. And I'm fairly certain, I mean, I don't know the reason why, but I do know that I did work in a very misogynist environment for a long time. So He was the only boy on our team, and he was all of a sudden promoted to the head of our team. And yeah, it was
Interesting.
oddly convenient, and an inconvenience, I think, for the rest of us on the team, unfortunately. And it's not that he was a bad person. I just don't think he maybe cared too much to do the best of his ability, or maybe was being told to do one thing and whatever. But it was tough. And I just felt like in some ways I was moving up because I was art directing, and I had 2 of my own Facebook Live shows, and I went to the VMAs, and I was doing Fashion Week, and it was so wonderful, and it was something that I had always wanted to do. And as soon as I was kind of walking away from the desktop of it all, they just wanted to pull me back. They didn't want me to do all these things that I was finally able to do. So I remember in that same week being like, I'm going back to Syracuse.
Yeah.
I'm going to quit. And it was such a relief.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But I did love that moment of the beginning of 2016.
Yeah.
It was really special.
It was pretty big for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think someone said, maybe it was Shauna, but she was like, why is it like how I remember everyone is how they were in 2016? And I don't know. Because for a lot of us, because it was right before like the Saturn return time.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely like look at when I was looking through photos, I was like, aw, softness. And also like that was my mountain girl era.
Yeah.
Also kind of like, like just definitely a lot of like underlying anxiety too, of just like trying to do it all. And also just thinking I knew it all at that time.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny. Like,
it's funny
you
how
really don't.
the different stages of your 20s, and you still think you're an adult the whole time.
The whole time.
And you're just not.
Yeah. It's, I really didn't think that I would get to a point in life where, you know, I'm now saying to staff members that are in their early 20s to be like, go do it. Go get out of here. Like, I want you here, but like, go see the world. Like if you can, you know, like go take that drive across country and just like live it up, you know? And I know that's not always possible for everyone, but so many, like, I don't know. I just think that I just look back and I'm like, God, there was kind of this like limitless, like freedom. And hardship and loss and like scary things. But I think it's just so important to experience and get out there and like try something. So
I know.
You know?
The 20s are absolute bliss and absolute shit.
All
at the same time.
And I've said this to a lot of people, mainly staff members. I'm like, I truly can't express how much I love being in my 30s. I just feel like there's a sense of calm. I like know who I am. I say no more easily and can say no. But you know, it's also on the caveat of that is it's easy to just sort of seclude, especially, you know, and just kind of like, you know, because engaging and being out in the world and friends and going out, all that stuff does take a different type of energy out of us.
Definitely. Well,
right?
Also when you know yourself and you get to that point in your life where you have your boundaries and your limits and you're not willing to give them up just for a night out. It's a completely different experience.
It's a completely different thing.
Once you start to just be like, hey, I didn't like that, or I don't need that. You don't have to do it.
I know.
You don't have to do
so
it. It's so
freeing.
And
it is.
You can just live your life.
I know.
Yeah. I loved that moment of 2016. And I actually saw someone post, okay, but 2006 was great too. And I was just like, I know they're trying to pull. Who was it?
2006.
I think it actually might have been a post from Cosmopolitan. And I was like, that was
What was going on?
I was in high school.
Yeah. Wait. So was I, right?
My sister was a senior, so I was a sophomore.
Oh, so then I must have been in. Wait. So then I was in
You were a freshman or 8th grade?
8th grade.
8th grade. You're 2 years younger than.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. 2006 was not also great. However, we just did, and I'm sorry, miss it. I'm gonna have to do like a shameless plug for a Syracuse story project.
Period. Because I was going to ask you about it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad you're bringing it up. Let's hear it.
So basically, moth style live storytelling event that my friends and I, Tim Carter and Dana, I think, well, they're Syracuse, like fun, cool, great people. Dana is just like a gatherer of people and community. And I'm so glad that her and her partner moved back to Syracuse. And Pat is a farmer, and he has the Westcott Vegetable Club.
Oh, okay.
Which it's like a
Is
weekly
that a subscription?
It's like a weekly like produce pickup during the summer months, and they have like an app where you can like pick and choose what you want. So it's not just like a giant random CSA box.
That's nice, because that's tough getting those.
Because it's like, what do I do with like 20 like parsnips? Yeah. So this you can pick and choose.
That's nice.
So so Dana and I connected over going to moth events or talking about going to them, and we lived not in Syracuse, and we're both like, oh, there's nothing like that here.
I have a question. Yeah. What is Moth?
Okay. So Moth is a live storytelling event that became like a podcast as well. It's featured a lot on the NPR and things, but basically it's a so they have a theme for the evening. People can submit their names to tell a story based off of that theme. It has to be true. It has to be read. I mean, spoken and not read, so there's no notes.
Oh.
Yeah. And you go up and you share a story, and it's just like the most, I loved going to them because it was like people from all walks of life, all ages, all backgrounds, and they'd be sold out like every month. And then the Moth is just kind of a much bigger like thing where they would then have like judges, and then if you win, you'd go to the Super Story Slam and maybe get on the radio, blah blah blah.
Wow.
So we want to do something like that here, but like not have it be a competition, just have it be like a place where people can go share their stories and just be together. So we've had 3, and the last one was middle school themed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rachel,
I know.
I'm so upset I wasn't there.
People brought their journals. We like opened it up for people to read from their journals. It was
wow.
It was so good. So we've had 3 so far. We usually do it on like the second or third Tuesday of every month at the Pink Rock Culture Co-op, which is this really amazing little venue. This woman, Amanda, opened it on Jefferson Street.
Okay.
And check her out. She's so cool. It's super cozy, beautiful. She understands lighting. It's like very like soft and lovely. And there's candles, and she has all kinds of cool events.
How neat.
So you got to come to the next one.
I am so thrilled to come to the next one. And I feel like that is definitely... that's your stage.
Yeah. So I feel like it has, it's definitely helped. I've only told one story so far. So basically, we will submit the theme in advance. You can put your name in the jar to get picked at random. So we have time for 10 slots a night. And so I told a story, the second one, and I was like, oh, I think I was like, maybe this is it's been really good for me, because it's like, giving me an outlet and creating something that is like not pastas adjacent, and I also, I guess I'm like, oh, I love telling stories. I like writing. So it's been a cool discovery for sure. And
That's
like
great.
just something to kind of have something else to like think about and do, and also something cool for the community.
Yeah.
It's a sober event too. So like, and it's also a sober venue. I wouldn't say sober event. People can do whatever they want beforehand, but it's cool to come together as a community and
Yeah.
like be together and share stories and connect. And that's what it is. And there's like, it's not about anything else but that. And I love that. It's been very refreshing.
That is refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always a huge difference when you mix alcohol
Yeah.
in events like that. And
Yeah.
that's really nice.
It is nice. And it's been so, yeah, it's just been, I don't know. I love it. I can't wait for you to come.
I can't wait to be
Yeah.
there. This is your moment of creativity.
Yeah.
But also so for people who don't know you, I kind of want to reintroduce, and you tell me,
Okay.
what is your role at Pastabilities and what is Pastabilities
Yeah.
too? Because we talk about it all the
I know,
time.
I
but
know. Or
people,
like pastas, like, yeah, obviously you know.
we always say pastas.
I know.
But people who are watching this might not
Sure.
know. So what is your relation to Pastabilities?
So my mom, Karen, and my dad, Patrick, started Pastas in 82. It's a restaurant in Syracuse, downtown. They kind of are known to be pioneers of downtown Syracuse by bringing a restaurant to what was a pretty abandoned, desolate, kind of sketchy area. And they had big dreams and also just like, not a whole lot of knowledge of what they're getting themselves into. So it's crazy that it's still here 43 years later. I mean, not crazy because I think my mom is, she's just really understands how to run a business and how to be a fair leader. And so I'm her daughter. And I run the kitchen. So I am the kitchen manager and part owner. We don't use like head chef.
Right.
But I do love it when people call me chef, low-key, because I am kind of like,
Yes, chef.
yeah, but I also kind of feel a little like imposter syndrome still. But yeah, no, I run the kitchen. I develop the menu. A lot of times it's my mom and I developing the menu together, recipe development, and I manage the whole kitchen team along with a lot of support. Like we have a big management team. I have 3 evening managers. And then I have 2 assistant managers during the day. So it's a group effort.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it without them.
It's
Yeah.
the way I have so much to say about Pastabilities. It's always been, I always feel like I'm at home when I'm there. And I don't know if it's because I'll always have the memory of going there with you and Rye as kids and just having sleepovers and just then we'd go to Pastas and we'd go back and watch Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God.
I know.
Such a good time.
That was the recipe. The recipe. But it's also just the energy, the atmosphere, the people that bring the goodness to having dinner there.
Yeah.
Or lunch.
Yeah.
Is just honestly in my mind unbeatable. I don't have bad experiences at Pastas.
That's so nice.
I just don't.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really special place. And I'm not saying that like biasly. Like I feel as though the energy and what it provides for people and how you can go in many different like versions of yourself and still feel welcome. I feel like we're always like looking for that everywhere we go, kind of. And yeah, I think that it provides it. It's like it has good food, and then also it has great lighting, it has good music, it has good people.
Ambiance.
And that's what makes a good restaurant. you have to have it all, and it has to have to, like, work together and sync together. And, I think people caring about it and who work there, that also really, really matters. So we try. And sometimes it can be really like, oh my God, like overwhelming and hard, and like Moo's got her slipper.
Moo, you know what?
And I just feel like it does everything about it. I hope and like want it to have it be a space where people feel welcomed, and I think it means a lot to a lot of people, and that's so cool. And it's sometimes I have to really, when I have hard days or I'm feeling really overwhelmed or burnt out, and sometimes I like stop and think and like laugh at what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my God, this is so insane. Like it is insane. Like
that place is a monument. It's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And it really does circulate the city.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
Yeah.
It's a huge
it doesn't
part
stop.
of Syracuse.
Yes. And then the physical aspect of the job too, of like sauce making and meatball, it's just crazy. So I then have to stop and be like, okay. And then I think about what it has provided for me and for my family and for so many people, and like how it led me back home. And I like when I think about it, it's just so much bigger than just a restaurant. And yeah, I don't know. It's family.
Yeah.
So, and it makes it worth it. Not that it isn't, but when people are like, oh, it just, this place means a lot to me, it feels like home for me. It's like, okay, so we're doing our jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really nice. And
yeah,
I don't know. And I also really like being there.
Yeah, me too.
So if we like being there, especially like working there, and you want to go back for dinner, like that's a good sign.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, pastas.
I know. So many memes.
I know.
So many memes.
Yeah, I was psychotic and took Tyler there on our second date.
Really?
Because, again, not to be all whatever, but like I was just like, either you sink or swim,
Classic Scorpio
so,
vibes.
I know. I was just like, I'm not sure if I like you yet, but I know I'm obsessed with you, and I want you to be obsessed with me. So I'm going to take you to my family restaurant where my sister's working.
Did he know all this? Like, did he go in blindly?
He had never been before he met me. I'm not going to, it's okay. He's a Hamilton boy. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, do you want to come? I'll take you. And he was super excited. And actually he drove his dad's BMW.
Right.
And he was like, beep, beep, and he goes, well, I can take my car. And I was like, no, I'll drive. Like so crazy. So then we walk in, we sit in a booth, obviously. And the entire kitchen staff is like just daggers at us and daggers at Tyler, just like looking him up and down. The kitchen manager, the evening kitchen manager at the time, pulled me aside. He goes, well, now that's a man. And I'm like, all right. And then I panicked, went to the bathroom, because I was like, what am I doing? Ryland was there. I was like, I cannot believe I'm doing this. And then we got through it. And yeah, so he swam. I don't know. At that point, it's just like, I don't have.
Yeah. No.
We're not going to play games.
You know what? And which is a wonderful feeling to feel.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I am taking someone seriously, I'll bring them to pastas.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, I won't.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Because honestly, I'm like, it's like home to me.
Yeah.
It's the one place that I want to bring someone that I'm with to.
I guess, yeah, if only the Taco Bell cantina was around. Yeah, no, I think it's kind of a litmus test for a lot of like new relationships.
Yeah.
And, and also we've had some friends bring some potential like candidates into I like that, potential candidates of whomever's energy and time, and knowing ahead of time, but then just trying to act like, oh, hey, yeah, welcome.
Another thing I love about pasta.
Yeah, like, hey, I've known about this potential date for months, and I am gonna like
pull up,
but I'm also just gonna be like make it so that, you know, like, hey.
Yeah, it's chill vibes.
Yeah, like, oh my God, welcome. Where are you from?
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Wow.
I'm like, oh, where are you coming from? Not that I've already like know everything about them.
Yeah. I love the feeling. I do. I love bringing someone into pastas that I'm like, okay, Bri, Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
And usually one of us tries to be there because I do think we can be like, yay or nay.
I know. And then it's a discussion. It's a discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that for us.
Me
it's
too.
special.
Me too.
It really is. Can we talk about how you were in plain clothes?
Oh my God.
This is something that I forgot to circle around to.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Oh my God. So shout out Plain Clothes. One of the best movies, truly, ever.
Literally ever.
Seen it, I don't even know how many times. Less than you. But
yeah, probably.
So I have a funny story about Plain Clothes. But also how it all happened was Carmen texted me. I actually saved the text. I should print it and frame it because it means so much to me. And he goes, hey, do you want to be, you know, my movie? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. And I think we were FaceTiming or text or on the phone.
We were doing something.
And I think I was walking at Berry Park.
Yes, we were FaceTiming.
Yeah.
I'm remembering the moment.
Yeah. And so, you know, Carmen being Carmen, he's so like humble. He's so does not like, I had no idea the movie was like as big of a production as it was. Like,
really?
Like, I mean, it was small production.
It's funny because it is small, but I understand how it could feel big.
Right. Because I just didn't know. And I thought it was going to be like a project. Like, I get that's that. Carmen. He's like, yeah, I'll, you know, because I was like, what's my role? Like, I thought I was going to like have a role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Or like,
he was offering you a role.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, so like, who am I? Like, I need the script. I need and I just didn't know that there were gonna be like legit actors and like a crazy like 80s and all these like lingo terms I never knew about, and like so I just didn't know what to expect, and it was like such a amazing experience. And I just remember like, oh yeah, this is how naive I was and how I'm so not part of the biz. I didn't know like be like BG1 or like I was like, oh, like I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what are those things called that you get like daily that like shows you what you're doing.
Yeah. We get a call sheet. Yeah.
And I was like, there's a whole other language.
Yeah, I know.
A whole other language.
Once you get it, it just clicks.
Yes. It's very like kind of like kitchen restaurant language. Like it's a whole different vernacular. So because Carmen like asked me personally, and I didn't like get me or hire me through an agency. I didn't know. Like, I didn't get, like, the information of, like, come, like, prepared, like, dressed and ready, right? And so I was like, oh, I guess I'll just, like, quickly wash my hair, and I assume there's, like, hair and makeup.
Which is not, I mean, you're not wrong for that.
You're not
wrong for that. No,
okay,
no.
Not to, like, Carm, like, love you, but I show up, and I'm, like, didn't bring any makeup. My hair was wet. And I walk in, my high school drama teacher was one of the background actors. And I was like, oh, she was like all ready. And I was just like, huh? Like, what? And I I was like, oh my God. And then we were filming that day.
Yeah.
So everyone basically were like, oh my God, we'll help you. They like tried to find me some like concealer. And I just was so embarrassed.
Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
oh my God, who do I think I am?
No, also
Like, I'm ready.
but also, you know, it really, every situation is different. It
Yeah.
depends. There are some, you know, sometimes people are like, come makeup ready, or sometimes there are background makeup artists who take care of only background.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was, oh God. So, but then it was crazy because was that like the first day of shooting
that was the first day at that location.
at the house?
I remember because we were at Holding, and all of a sudden I hear someone say Cece, and no one calls me Cece but you and Rye, pretty much. And I like turned around and I was like, oh my God, Rachel's here.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, what a relief. I'm
my
like, it's
God.
so nice to see
Yeah.
a friend at work.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that that your drama teacher was
Yes.
Holding with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just remember, and also Kaden, the costume designer, who's
Right.
absolutely incredible.
Yes.
He already had a ton of stuff for background.
Right.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I went.
Okay,
and
that's
got
what I thought.
fitted. Yeah.
We had given you something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my God. Yeah, it was so intense that first day.
yeah.
And
For Carmen too.
oh, I know. I'm
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing about it, but
No, I mean, I saw that. I mean, that he's gone to say like that was like, he's like, I never want to like
do what he did
what
that
he did
day.
that day again.
Yeah. Yep. I know. It's kind of funny to look back and laugh at a little bit.
I know.
because
And then oh no, then the last day was the
fight.
the fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was intense.
that was crazy. And I mean, having to reset, like lentil soup everywhere. Oh my God. I was just like, I can't. This is crazy. It's also like the amount of patience you have to
Yeah.
have in that industry
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, I don't even know. It's just, you have to be so patient.
It's true.
And it's
true.
long
Yeah.
days.
Long days. 12, 14ers.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. I would do it all over again. Carmen, I'll be in any movie you want. So just so you know,
Well,
yeah.
we're waiting.
We're waiting.
A lot of people are waiting.
I know.
I hear it every day.
I know.
People are like, when is Carmen making his next movie?
I know.
I wish I had the answer.
Me too.
I don't.
But yeah,
it's going to happen.
get at me, Carm.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Can't wait till round 2. Oh
I really I will gladly be a BG one. Anytime you
BG
need
number
me.
1, BG number 2.
Yeah.
BG
I want to
number
be,
1, 2.
core BG.
Core BG.
Yeah.
Period. We'll be sure to let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what your go-to is at pastas?
Oh my God. I get this question a lot, and it changes. I'm weird with certain things. So I will work really hard on a lot of the specials and a lot of the salmon dishes or things or the appetizers, and I work really hard and I obsess over them, and then I rarely eat them. And I try to make food and come up with food that I would like to eat, right?
Yeah.
And that it excites me. Then there are things that I'm like, okay, I know that people will love this, and that's not really my thing. But
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like I obsess over it that I almost feel like I've had it so many times that I don't want it. So a lot of the times I'll do broccoli, garlic, walnut oil.
Carmen loves that one.
I know.
Yeah.
On Campanelle with blackened chicken. I also love spicy bolo. And I don't know, for a long time I was just like, I guess I just didn't really eat pasta or a lot of it. I don't know. And now I'm just like, wow, pasta's
Universal.
this is a crazy take. Pasta's good.
Pasta is good.
This is like, I know, probably the most insane thing you'll hear all day. But yeah, when I just was like, wait, this is so delicious. So yeah, Brock Gino.
Yum.
And I think I ordered that probably the most. Also, I think people don't realize, but our smash burger, like
Yes.
meatball smash burger,
Right.
is really good.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they go, well, I'm not going to get the smash burger. I'm here to get pasta. I'm like, okay, well, like yeah, I get it. But if you're a regular and you're here more than once, get it.
Switch it up.
Also, like, it's not just that. It's not just pasta.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like to put us in this like, like Italian category. And yes, it's Italian, like but it isn't also.
Yeah.
And I think that when you try to compare us to like a classic Italian, a lot of times it pisses people off.
You guys have a lot of versatility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are like, it's not, they get so upset about it. And it's like, yeah, we're not trying to say we are a classic Italian ristorante. Like, that's not what we are. And
It's going to be okay.
it's going to be okay, guys.
be
There are
okay.
plenty of those traditional places around here if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But that's just not us. And so, but it has its own, like, I think I think we've kind of figured out our own little niche in that. So.
What is another restaurant in Syracuse that you like?
Oh my God. Well, I would say Alto is like second home.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean,
if
kind of
you're-
embarrassing how I mean, not embarrassing, but we're there like at least like once a week.
I mean,
we know everyone.
It's a staple.
It's a staple.
If you grew up,
Yeah.
if you were emo and you grew up in the 2000s, then Alto Cinco was also your home.
It's where you
so-
saw all the hotties.
Don't I know it?
And I know. Oof.
Don't I know it? What a time.
What a time. So, I mean, we're there all the time. I would say, I mean, obviously love Kitty Hoynes, our neighbors, like coziest vibe.
I have never had dinner at Kitty
Oh
Hoynes
my
before.
God. It's so comforting and great. And I love Saffron, Raj Saffron House, the new Indian spot.
Yes.
Off of Westcott. I think it's incredible and so flavorful, and they're so nice there. And
They are so nice.
they're
there.
so nice. And I think it's like the most authentic Indian I've had outside of India.
That's good to know.
Yeah, their saag paneer is delish. Yeah, I mean, I think we're really fortunate. A lot of people try to hate on Syracuse food scene, but like, there's a lot of really awesome places and so many like kind of deep, weird in the cut spots. And
Yeah.
I love that about our city. And
too.
I think it's just like so special. Like Eva's is so special.
Yeah.
And even like the Polish home, going there and hanging out. And I mean, yeah. So you just have to like find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kai Duen, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but the banh mi spot in South Salina.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been there.
That
yet either.
is legit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I'm so hungry right now. Oh my God.
Yeah. So those are some of my faves, I think. I know I'm probably missing a few, but yeah. And we go to like Salt City Bar all the time, and coffee, and I think they have great cocktails and coffee. And I'm just so grateful for the Salt City Market. And
Yeah. We needed that.
we did.
We really needed
yeah.
that.
We need like a gathering place for people, and to offer different types of experiences. And so, yeah, I love it there.
Me too. That was important for Syracuse.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, we have kind of already circulated on this, but let's talk about Dreamland for a second. Let's talk about Dreamland.
Yeah.
So Dreamland was a dance series.
Yeah.
That would happen. Actually, I think it kind of started to be bi-monthly. Like we
Yeah.
were, when it was still small, we were doing it maybe like once every other month or
Okay.
every 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, were you back? You
No.
Oh my goodness.
So wait, this must have been
It was
2017.
It was before COVID.
Right.
Maybe 2017, 2018.
Yeah, because that's when I just moved back, and I remember like seeing photos of them from Rye and being like, oh my, so happy and impressed, and like
Yeah.
it kind of was showing me that does exist here, because I, being out in Berkeley and stuff, I was just going out dancing a lot at that time in my life, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these like fun, interesting, beautiful people, and okay, so that is there, or that I was inspired by. So my parents used to throw these crazy parties called cyberfunk parties that there's a lot of lore behind. And it was like before like raves had the term rave. And so my mom's group of friends, they threw these amazing immersive like weekend long parties out at this place called the Creamery in Lafayette, an old creamery. And so yeah, that's like what inspired Rye, and kind of gather the troops of people of like, okay, let's try and create something beautiful and fun for people.
We started in this little art space.
Yes.
And when it was still small and intimate, and it was so much fun.
Yes.
And I don't know.
I never went to one there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The things I would do.
I know.
It was so special, and I really took it in at the time because I was like, thank God we have a place to dance here. We didn't really have, I'm trying to think. Out of all the places that I could think of that we could dance, it would be Trex.
Right.
We had Rain.
Right.
Which RIP to Rain.
Yes.
Because that was one of the greatest gay clubs, in my opinion, gay bars, dance floor club. All of it. They had volleyball.
Yeah.
Like.
Yes.
Oh, wait, did they?
No.
Or was it? No, that was Trex. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But, and then.
That was
it.
What?
And Wonder Bar was
Was
just
it like
getting
Ambrosia?
started.
No, it was still Benjamin's.
Oh, well, nothing had bought the space where Ambrosia was.
Yes.
But we were still in our 20s. Yes, we were still in our 20s. We're like, we need to dance. So we had to take this into our own hands. Ryland got everyone together and is like, let's do this thing. Let's decorate this place.
Yeah.
Let's do a theme. And it just was so fun and so special.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Every single one was so special.
Yeah.
And we needed it.
Yeah.
It was the winter.
Yeah.
We just needed it. And there were so many themes. We as the word got out, it got bigger, and we moved to Wonder Bar.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Bar has since closed. We did have one at the
Ukrainian home.
Yeah. Which was cool because it was kind of like a dance gym.
That place
vibe.
is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Like immaculate.
Yeah. We had V-Day vibes there.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And I love making merch.
Yes.
For these Dreamlands.
I have
been
them.
so special.
I have them all like in its own drawer.
Yeah.
Because they are so special. And that's also like from the cyberfunk days. They made a t-shirt for every dance party. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's so cool that like you kind of took that on, and I feel as though the crew of people that like Ryland, this is just like, a testament to her too. Like she is so good at cultivating people and community and is such a natural leader. But it was like, all right, Celine, like, like you will always show up with like the tools and the things and the like, the rack to hang the stuff with the steamer, or like the glue gun to hang the, whatever, like you're always there and prepared. And then, Eileen Hollis, and she's just like a little sparkle fairy.
The vibes, also the
hard
tools.
Worker, and visionary and amazing dancer and just like fun person. And then DJ True. And then when I moved home, I was just like, I want to be a part of this too.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't going to not.
Yeah, I know. Classic. This all goes just to me being like, well, I want to be her friend too. She's really cool. So yeah, then kind of recently, we got the text. It was like the Batman signal.
Yeah.
In the sky. It was like,
It really was.
you know, like,
it was.
It was like, oh, let's like, hello, are we too old?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
No, we're not. No,
Because
we're not.
what? I only dance at weddings? Like, that's sad.
Honestly, it's funny in the timing because Jane was like, I gotta dance.
Okay.
She just had a kid
Yeah.
a year and a half ish ago. And she's like, I gotta dance. And we all feel that way. I think we all have that in common. We
Yeah.
need to
Yeah,
dance.
we do.
We need to dance.
So, so then, yeah, we kind of sent the text out. And I think that people will be very excited.
Yeah.
To have it back.
I'm hyped.
Me
I can't
too.
wait. It's
Me
been a long
too.
time coming. And
It's gonna be like Mom's Gone Wild. Except
Literally.
for us.
I know.
Auntie's out.
Auntie's gone wild. I know.
Auntie's out for the we go out because we're aunts. It's awesome. So
I'm really enjoying the ant life right
too.
now. Really enjoying it.
yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
June, you know, light of my life. The cutest baby on the planet.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But yeah, so Dreamland, hopefully this early summer.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
For June.
For June.
For June.
Yeah. What? June. Junie, my
Junie.
niece.
Junie.
Yeah, so let's I think I have good feelings about it.
Me too.
So I think it's exciting.
It is exciting. Stay tuned for a theme.
Stay tuned for Dreamland.
Stay tuned.
And yeah, I'm excited to see where it takes us.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's going to be a whole new venue, a whole new everything. So
It's a different chapter of
Yeah.
Dreamland for sure. Yeah.
I think it should end at 11. I'm kidding.
I was like, what?
That's late. I'm
is
kidding.
late.
No, but
It's
it will
late.
be great. So I cannot wait. And we just have to make it happen.
Yeah. We will.
So, we will.
We will. We always do.
We do.
We always do. Rachel,
Cece.
would you like to pick from the deck of character?
Ooh, yeah, let's do it. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Are you you should have Hannah on the pod.
I need to get Hannah on the
Yeah.
pod. So, for those who don't know, the deck of character is a card game that is kind of like a mix between Cards Against Humanity and Tarot. It's split between places, tools, and characters.
Should I just choose one? Should I just choose one?
You can choose one. You can choose
think I
three.
do one.
You can play it however you
Oh, I know. That's
feel like playing
That's
it.
the best thing about deck of character.
There are no rules.
Yeah,
But-
this helped me a lot when I moved back home.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm gonna do one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one.
Do you want me to hold your mic?
Yeah. What if it's like the poop card? Ooh, river.
Wow.
Oh, this just came out because I had to.
Oh. Okay.
So sometimes I'll pick it. Yeah.
So, what? Oh,
you go.
we've got
Home,
home and
river,
river.
which is kind of crazy because I do feel like a lot of our conversation today was the pathway home and what's now coming from that, and it feels like very. I don't know. Feels like exactly what encapsulates our conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
And got to keep things kind of moving, fun, interesting. And it's important for me, too, to not just, like, become stagnant and just be at home
Yeah.
all the time.
I feel like you take the words out of my mind.
Yeah.
Like a lot of what you've said today in general is
Yeah.
exactly how I feel. And
Yeah.
it's nice to know that home still exists.
Yes.
I think a lot of us have gone away and figured things out, and we've somehow circled back here, and we're so lucky that we still have each other.
I agree.
Truly.
Yeah.
Syracuse is,
I know.
it's really special.
It is.
It's really special. And
Like I said, you just got to love it and not fight it, and it'll love you back.
I agree.
It's true.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
But yeah. Aw.
Oh,
Cute.
Yeah, cute. Well,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the pod, Rachel.
Love you, C.
Love you too.
20 plus years of friendship. Here we are. Let's go.
And let's keep going. Let's keep it going.
Riding around the city with some brand new heat. Brand new car, brand new feet.
Mixtrap.com.
Brand new seats, brand new smell.